In just a matter of hours, the people of Sabah will head to the ballot box to pick their candidates to form the new state government. Over 1,124,000 voters will choose from a list of 447 candidates vying for the 73 state seats contested. Now, there is a fear among the people of a wider spread of the Covid-19 pandemic in Sabah on D-Day. This is due to the recent spike of Covid-19 positive cases in the country, which are mostly centered in the state. However, the government and authorities have assured that the situation in the state is under control. There's no reason for Sabahans to worry and not to go out to exercise their democratic right on Saturday, as long as everyone embraces the new norms. So, what are the standard operating procedures for voting under the new normal? Firstly, voters need to make sure to wear a face mask at the polling center at all times. There are also designated lines for voters to queue up and maintain physical distancing. Election Commission EC staff will also screen the voters' body temperatures before they can enter the polling center. Voters are also advised to use hand sanitizers provided at each of the checkpoints during the polling process. Once voters are allowed into their respective polling stream, they should maintain physical distancing and take off their mask when asked by the EC staff to verify their identity and check their hands. The voter can then proceed to have their index finger marked with election ink before they are given their ballot paper. They can then walk to an individual booth to cast their vote before putting the ballot paper into the ballot box and immediately leave the polling stream. Before exiting the polling center, the voters need to make sure to record their attendance using the My Sejahtera app or manually by giving their contact details to the EC staff. Also, please use the hand sanitizer again before finally leaving the polling center. Do keep in mind that voters who are symptomatic and who failed screening will be segregated, and they will need to cast their ballot at a special tent monitored by health officials. As for those undergoing quarantine, like patients under investigation (PUI) or person under surveillance (PUS), they need to seek the approval of the District Health Office first before being allowed to cast their votes. However, the government has emphasized that those who have been tested positive for Covid-19 would not be allowed to go out to vote, and that hospitals could not be turned into voting centers. It is also important to note that the SOPs put in place by authorities for the polls strictly apply to not just voters, but all quarters, including candidates and party machinery. To ensure that the SOPs are followed during the polling, the Election Commission will work together with authorities, and if anyone violates the guidelines, then action will be taken against them by enforcement personnel. So, remember to stick to the prescribed SOPs to ensure the safety of everyone on polling day in order to prevent a possible emergence of a new polling cluster. We are now the frontliners, as we cannot only leave it to the government and authorities to fight this war against the pandemic. Only by protecting and taking care of ourselves and doing it together can we prevent the COVID-19 from continuing to disrupt our daily lives.